Peace be with you. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Pause and blessings to you, whoever you are, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. That is a really good time to start this reading. My best recommendation, if you're new to this platform, bring your highest level of consciousness, whatever that means to you, by way of what you feel about yourself, how you feel your spiritual journey has gone for you and you, only looking at yourself and what it is that you need to take from this reading, also being honest about what it is that you need to leave, maybe for somebody else to process, digest, and or just take for themselves. It's so important to have intuition and discernment. This is my spiritual disclaimer to you. This is my gift to you. I am wishing for you what I wish for myself. So mote it be. If you are returning back to this platform, then you already know what it is. You know what it was. You know what it will be because you have great foresight. Thank you for your love, your support as we work together collectively to bring the world to a higher level of awakening and or consciousness. We are in real time on divine timing, in divine timing by way of our assignments. So for most of you, it's apparent, it's obvious energetically, spiritually, just on a God level that you have gone through a major awakening. And I know that because of the collective of people that I'm connected to in this higher level of consciousness. And so in that, there's responsibility, but it's not as great as it once was, right? In the sense that you're bearing all these burdens, unnecessary energies, transmuting all this weird energy. That time has subsided. We have transmuted what we've needed to transmute up to said point, and collectively we are one divine consciousness in terms of energy. Now, because of that, the spiritual laws have been rewritten. Okay, maybe edited, okay, meaning in addition to or added to, let's just say that, in addition to what the original laws of spiritual law is, right? Normal stuff, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not kill, like don't do no diabolical shit while you're going through this earthly realm by way of just passing time and going into your ascension, right? So paying attention to that, the spiritual laws by way of consciousness, by way of understanding, have absolutely morphed into something a little bit more detailed, right? Meaning we are no longer taking on diabolical energy. We are no longer taking on conscious levels that refuse to get out of hell. A hell-bent mind spent. Wasted time type energy, we're just not available to that conscious level because there's nothing else that we can do with it. The only thing that we can do with that level of diabolicalness is just allow that conscious, unconscious behavior, hell-bent behavior, creating more diabolical conscious behavior. The only thing we can do is allow that energy to die. And that's exactly what it's doing. It's not an easy death, okay, but it's necessary and it's long overdue, okay? So as I was meditating, sitting with myself, as I always do, paying attention to me, listening to my own thoughts, that's the best thing that somebody can do is look at themselves. Before you attempt to see anything outside of you, go within so you don't have to go without knowing who you are. Know thyself, right? So I'm sitting with myself, just giving you an explanation of that. For whatever that is worth, somebody's going to use it, somebody's going to leave it. Maybe that was just for me. I absolutely support myself in this energy. So listen, as I was sitting there, I heard the whores of Babylon have to let the captives free. The whores of Babylon, the Babylonians, okay, the Jezebelians, people stuck in that hellish karmic cycle. The whores of Babylon have to let the captives free, okay? That means all that weird ass illusions, projections, dark magic, controlling people's consciousness, sending people to hell, putting them in a hell's mind state of an illusion of hell, right? It has to die, and they don't like that. Holy spirits, divine angels, beautiful, ascended masters amongst the earth, in the spirit realm and in the physical consciousness, I ask that you assist me as I channel this energy. Anybody that opens up a door that is trying to send me any nasty energy to confuse and or twist this message as the divine collective needs to get it, they need to absolutely be held accountable to their energy, and they need to sit in it until their consciousness is submerged in their evil eye energy. Let them sit with their own evil behaviors. We are no longer responsible at this level of the age of Aquarius transparency for any diabolical consciousness. The Savior's complex is dying. The whores of Babylon have to release the captives. Clarify the whores of Babylon. They don't like it either. These are people that felt like they had some level of mind control over a certain group of people. It's a master-slave mentality type energy. Yeah, listen. You never needed these people. They always needed you more than you needed them. These are people that needed to control other people because they were afraid to be out of control. Hopeless. The whores of Babylon, hopeless, lost, depressed, and suicide is what this card says. So you got some people, dark warlocks, dark witches that were playing the conscious game, unconsciously keeping people asleep. They have to let the captives free. Because we are ascending to this capacity, like it really is causing a ripple effect amongst consciousness. So we're watching Bitcoin crash out. We're watching, the president play his part by way of his conscious level, whatever that is, or unconscious level. They have to let the captives free, release people from hell. Hopeless. The whores of Babylon, okay? They put people in hopeless mind states. They put people in suicidal mind states, which is a form of delusion. It's a hell-bent mind that can't bend its way back into reality. Confirmation. Loss, depression, suicide. Now this is them. Confirmation. The universe is absolutely talking today. Okay, you got family, blood ties, inner circle, delay, procrastination, and too busy. Okay, so you had some people that unfortunately didn't seek to break their curses, so now they have to deal with them. They were more focused on your conscious level, where you were going, more focused on what you were doing than they were looking at themselves, paying attention to their consciousness. Their goal was to have a slave. This in their minds was some form of accolade, some form of power, when in reality they're coming to this new reality that they need you more than you need them, because now they have to release the captives. Anybody that was held in a mental captivity, illusion, that is being dismantled indefinitely. That is a new spiritual law. Family ties, generational curses, blood ties, inner circle. Procrastination, too busy. Wanting to delay the breaking of generational curses is diabolical. Okay? It really is. It will always be diabolical. It will continue to be seen as diabolical. And so in that, there's great responsibility for what people have done to other people, when they really should have been focused more on their own conscious energy, embodying that, and seeing the world in a way where hell has been eliminated. Why are people still in hell? They got to let the captives free. The whores of Babylon, you are under judgment. Feeling hopeless? The whores of Babylon. 3 of Pentacles, power of 3, covens, cults, blood ties, blood oaths, chicken blood, drank the blood, human sacrifice. You are the whores of Babylon. Masculines are not exempt from being whores of Babylon. Babylon represents confusion, confusing the language of the chosen people, the consciousness, creating some type of, you know, ripple effect of hell energy, wanting that to become contagious, not wanting to see people be set free. I just heard there is no I in team. And so collectively, we are ascending by way of masters in the earth, 1244 on the clock. And the universe is saying, we got you. So when I tell you that the new spiritual laws have been rewritten, some of these people are not getting the memo, and that's okay. They've been unconscious. You have to be unconscious to constantly want to control somebody else's life, their dynamics, their money, their life, their love life, their beauty. You have to be literally in a state of hell in order to create more hell. Why are these hell-bent consciousness wanting more hell when hell has been sent to hell? Meaning hell is under judgment. Three of Pentacles, collaborations, okay? They collaborated, they teamed up, okay? These are people that could have never been, how do you say, independent in nature. They could have never been independent in nature. They collaborated with powers, principalities, in high places and low places, because as individuals on a conscious level, they were always weak. Whenever you have to go and do voodoo to control somebody, to unalive them, to keep them bound to you, to stop their money, you are a weak consciousness. You are the weakest link, and you're being consumed by your own weakness, because you really do need other people in order to feel powerful. Their biggest fear is that the captives, whoever the captives are, will be set free. Now, more recently, or most recently, it's been the children. Okay? Clarify. The whores of Babylon, the whores of Babylon. Just as quickly as they collaborated, their collaborations are being dismantled. You got the Three of Pentacles in the upright. These people thought that their agreements with whatever they were in alignment with, child, was solid and secure. Working with demonic energy, conscious, unconscious energy. You got the Three of Pentacles. Now you got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. The universe is saying no more. This shit is being dismantled. It is absolutely being destroyed. The shut-up spells. They love them little shut-up spells because they're so afraid for conscious people to speak more consciousness into the atmosphere, to awaken more people to becoming conscious so that they get out of hell. Hell is a state of mental energy. It is an illusion. It is a nightmare that people put themselves in. Once a puppeteer pushes the button, they really don't have to do the work. They just kind of leave somebody to be on auto repeat of their own mental demonic hell activity. People create their own hells. Honestly, these people really ain't doing much of anything. They're just banking on the fact that you stay unconscious in a state of hell. They're hoping, they're praying that you don't awaken to who you are. Time's up. Too late. We've alchemized it. Okay? So you got the Three of Pentacles and you got the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. 6, 6. Okay? And you got 2. 6, 7, 8. 6 plus 2, 7, 8 is 8. As above, so below. But below is really above and above is really below. Let's get into it. In is really out. Out is really, okay. Up is really down. Down is really, okay. This is what they wanted you to see. This is what they wanted you to see. This is what they wanted you to see. The whores of Babylon have to let the captives free. This is what they wanted you to see. This is consciousness. This is hellbent. This is anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, illusions, seeing things that aren't there, like turning your own mind against you. Woo! Woo! It's giving a mind is a terrible thing to waste. A consciousness, consciously, is a terrible thing to waste consciously. Being conscious of being in hell. Don't get used to that. I don't recommend it. Well, I don't know. How many times have you died? How many times have you gone through your death, transformation, and rebirth? Did you wake up today to see the sun come up? Did you go to bed enough or long enough before the sun went down or after the sun went down, wherever you are in your time zone, on your timeline? That means you've gone through a death, a transformation, and a rebirth. You wake up every day in scorpionic energy. Every day you wake up submerged in the valley and the shadows of death. Nine of Cups. This is like the prayers of the conscious, praying for other people to become more conscious. This is like being so done with this hopeless energy, this illusion of things appearing not to be real, this fear, projections, deflections, glamour, money, honey, whatever. You goofy ass bitches are the whores of Babylon, and you got to let the captives free. Clarify. The whores of Babylon, let the captives free. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. They are watching people be emotionally stable. The King of Cups represents emotions, depth, psychic abilities, vision, perception. You know, you ever looked into a body of water? You ever looked into a swimming pool? You ever looked into the bathtub and seen the bathtub filled with water and caught your own reflection? You ever looked into the mirror and caught a reflection by way of an illusion? What have you transformed into by way of the valley of the shadow of death? When you woke up, you said, oh, thank you. Whew, I woke up. A new day. You went through a whole death, a transformation, and a rebirth. And one day you woke up and you had gray hairs on your head. Okay. Listen. The King of Cups, this is water energy, depths, going deep, love, compassion. Page of Swords, watching us awaken, feeling hopeless. So the same hopeless energy that they were praying that you stayed in, that you would keep yourself in. That's Eight of Swords energy. Self-imposed imprisonments. The same cage they wanted you to stay in. You decided, you know what? Okay, no thank you. And you let yourself go. You let yourself free. You freed your mind. You stopped paying attention to what the world was telling you needed to be. You started to attract more conscious behaviors and meeting more conscious people and doing more conscious things. And now you're a walking, breathing energy of consciousness, awakened, awakening other people just with your energy alone. This is how powerful your mind is. And these people know that. They wanted to remote view into your hell-bent consciousness, hoping that you never awakened to the fact that you didn't have to be in hell. You ain't gotta suffer. Long-suffering energy. That was the biggest mistake that our ancestors made, was in this long-suffering. And then you reap the benefits after that. Now, what part of that makes sense? Dead or alive? Physical or unphysical? Spiritual? What part of that makes sense by way of long-suffering when you a whole god and a whole goddess and you came consciously to co-create change? It's giving the hell-bent mind is outdated. Karma's here, justice. The rules have been changed. I can't even say they've been changed. Hold on, let me be clear. The laws have been added to, in addition to whatever the spiritual laws were, are, have always been, because of our consciousness. There are new spiritual laws that these people are not privy to because they can't remote view into your consciousness. Let me tell you something. As I was driving, I saw a big, huge, I don't know if this was a vulture, a crow, or what the hell it was, but it was a huge black bird. And it was dead by the roadside. You know, everything in the environment speaks volumes. When you really are conscious and you're paying attention, you'll notice things. You might drive down the same street and notice something that you never paid attention to, but now that you're committed to consciousness, you're like, dang, I never noticed. I've been drove down this street 7 years. Those are some beautiful pink flowers over there. You start to notice things when you're conscious. Out of this hell-bent mental activity. Anxiety, depression, stress, looking at the clock, time. When you look at the clock, it's just, you know, it's just fun by way of synchronicities. Don't overthink that clock. That clock is an illusion. But the numbers are fun. They remind you of what you've come to do. You set these synchronicities up to remind you, to keep you conscious. That's why you see an 1111, 333, 555, 444, 333. You created this. You needed signs and symbols to remind you that this hell-bent illusion was just an illusion. So now that you're not believing the lies that they was telling you, by way of telling you a vision of what you needed to be, you're now controlling your own consciousness. You took the remote control back. So needless to say, I passed this big old bird. I'm like, damn, what kind of bird is that? Now, it's been there for 3 days. Normally, you know, the animal control will come and pick up. You know, where I live, there's deer. There's like, unfortunately, sometimes the deer get hurt, whatever. You know, they'll come along. But I guess with the birds, maybe they just feel like nature will take its course. At some point, you know, you'll have other animals come along and eat the meat or whatever, okay? But I said, ooh, spirit. 12:55 on the clock. And coincidentally, as I was driving down the street, the first time I saw the bird, it was 8:08 a.m. The next time I saw the bird, it was 5:55 p.m. I said, okay. So these synchronicities are things that we set up consciously to remind ourselves. That's what the numbers are about. Just remember that. You are a god. You are a goddess. You are here consciously to change awareness and or awaken people from something that they created called hell. Mentally. Mental hell. Mental entrapment. Self-imposed. Self-induced. You tell people you doing this to yourself, they be like, what? Huh? What? I'm not, no, they're doing this to me. No, why would you allow people to do that to you? Don't allow them to do that. Now, are there people that are definitely praying that you don't awaken? Yeah. But their prayers can't even sustain them. This is why the Babylonian Heauxs got to release the captives. Clarify releasing the captives. They feel defeated. They need you more than you need them. They need you to stay unconscious. Clarify the Heauxs of Babylon. 9 of Pentacles. They coming in to kiss your ass. They need you. They're really the slaves because they're praying that you don't awaken, that you don't find love. Yeah, these are liars. They're praying that you still believe the lie, that you still stay asleep, that you still stay in hell, that you still stay in fear, that you still believe the lie. The Ace of Swords in the reverse. What's good? Heauxs of Babylon. You're going to have to release the captives. Let the captives free. Let the captives free. You're going to have to let the captives free. You ain't got to do a damn thing. Really, that's really a play on words. Colloquialisms. A plethora of metaphors and similes and literal figurative language, whatever that means. You ain't got to do a damn thing. You ain't got to let nobody free. What they have to let go of is praying against you awakening. This is all they were doing was like, please don't let them wake up. Please don't let them wake up. Please, 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 please. If they see who they are and they realize that this whole mindset of hell and torment and anxiety and depression, child, they're going to stop taking their depression, antidepressant medication. They're going to all become conscious. If they all wake up at the same time, oh my God, this world by way of the illusion is going to be dismantled. Well, it's going to be dismantled anyway, because this is the way that the gods and the goddesses set it up. What the hell you think we spit the block for? We already been to hell. We came back. We're like, whoo, we got to come back and help everybody else. What'd you come back for? Well, I came back to set the captives free. Oh, you did? Yeah. That's what's up. These people are liars. The truth ain't in them. They betrayed a lot of people, kept people bound. This goes for all you dark ass practitioners, all you dark ass readers that's lying to people as they're getting readings to you, and you're tapping into their consciousness, their fears, their shadows, and you're keeping them in fear so that they keep coming back and getting readings from you, bitch. Have a seat. You're bound to them dollars. You got blood on that money. You took that money. You didn't give a damn about nobody's spiritual awakening. You only gave a damn about whether or not you could go try to put a down payment down on a Birkin. Please don't buy that Birkin, baby. You can't buy it twice. Sit your punk ass down. Don't get slid. Listen, these bitches out here getting slid. The whores of Babylon. Shout out to the BAM from Compton. That's my boo. I love the BAM. Okay? I love the BAM. People misunderstand the BAM. It's a whole high priestess. Nevertheless, listen. Got the Page of Wands. They got to let the captives free. They got to let go of these children, their minds, through these shows, video games, whatever the hell they're trying to do. It's a wrap. Because the children are more powerful than all of us, to be quite honest. You got the Page of Wands information. Clarify the whores of Babylon. Got to set the captives free. They still trying to hold on the hope and the prayer. They're still praying that you don't wake up, that you don't get this reading. It's too late. The reading is already done. They don't like the fact that this information is going out, because the more I stay in this consciousness by way of committed to setting the captives free, one has to release their own mind from captivity. Don't go towards anybody who has a hell-bent mind. Don't get into anybody's sick bed. Don't go towards anybody that's going to keep you sick. If you begin to complain and somebody begins to agree with you, you are in a hell-bent energy and you're going to go to hell mentally. And you're going to burn there. You're going to suffer there. You're going to constantly, well, I don't know. It's been 3 years. It's been 4 years. It's been 5 years. It's been 6 years. You just passing time, going through hell, creating your own hell. At some point, these people don't even need to push the button. You're on autoplay mentally. They got to let the captives free. Set yourself free. This is what they want you to stay hidden. They want you not to know this knowledge. The moon. Clarify, set the captives free. When I tell you they're working behind the scenes to keep everybody asleep, to keep them away from love with the lovers, this is more Jezebelian energy, Babylonian energy, confusion, a state of confusion, keeping people captive to demonic sex without commitment, no marriage, no respect to persons, making love to people that you just making love to them because it feel good and you don't care about yourself, you don't care. This is what they want. Lovers in the reverse. Love is a very powerful energy, because with love, you start to see what you want for yourself and what you want for everybody else, and you make it a reality. And that's why love is so powerful. They're afraid of your consciousness. They're afraid of you loving yourself so much that you represent what it looks like to wake up. And then in that, other people become attracted to that. Consciousness becomes contagious. And everybody's like, wait, I want to wake up. Wait a minute. I want to get up out of this hell. It's like being in a jail cell and the keys are right there and somebody just sits there shaking, believing a lie in their own mental hell, when all they got to do is get up, stand up, open the door and get out. Remember Yeshua talked to that man? The scriptures, the parables, the stories in the Bible. And the man complained and he's telling Yeshua, yeah, you know, I've been doing this and going here. And my mama did this and my daddy did this. Yeshua was like, okay, that's enough. The first thing he said was like, first of all, in him cutting that man off, not allowing that man to go into this long ass story that he's been telling for 20 years about his pain, his hurt, his family, why he can't walk, why he this. He done made every excuse up in his mind. Child, he out here just sucking off a lie, believing Not only that, he had other people pass him in the courtyard, helping him to believe a lie. They like, yeah, he down. Look how they speaking negative over him. Yeah, he ain't gonna get up. He been there 20 years. He been there 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years in past. Yeah, he messed up. So now he got other people helping him to believe hell, helping him to believe whatever this lie is. He came across Yeshua. Yeshua is conscious. Told Yeshua, yeah, let me tell you what happened. Yeshua was like, okay, hold up. First of all, no, you're not about to dump all that on me. He shut him down. He said, look, okay, how long you been telling that story? Okay, that's enough. You done told it to enough people for how long? Yeshua said, listen, do you want to walk? The man says, of course I do. Like, are you crazy? Of course I do. But I can't. Yeshua was like, do you want to walk? I didn't ask you what you can't do, what you don't want to do. Do you want to walk? Do you really want to walk? The man's like, of course I do. He's like, well, get your punk ass up and walk, man. The hell, we're not about to sit here with you and woulda, coulda, shoulda. My mom and my daddy, my cousin and everybody. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Loose your hold. What are you doing? Get up. The man got up and walked. Oh, it's a miracle. He helped me. He's still believing a lie. He's the one that did it. The only thing that happened was he came into connection with a person that was conscious, refusing to believe a lie. This person was like, Yeshua was like, I'm not about to get in your sick bed. As a teacher, as a leader, as a reader, as a hierophant, it is not a noble thing to get into somebody's sick bed and feed their lies and their sickness, all because they're paying you money. Four wands, let the captives free. Organizations, whatever that is, covenants, shall they fall in. Let the captives free. They done made a whole bunch of money off of people, off the backs of innocent royal bloodline people, kings and queens. Amused at the fact that these people ain't figured out, damn, it's all in your head. It's all in your consciousness that you're actually creating this. Why would you create more hell-bent energy? You're just going to destroy yourself. Who the hell wants to stay in hell? We done walked through hell. How many times have you been to hell? How many more times do you have to go in order to realize, hey, wait a minute, this ain't where I want to be. Something ain't right. Let me get the hell up out of here. Get the hell up out of here. Horse of Babylon, you're under judgment. They know it. They know it. Knight of Swords. This is us standing up consciously. Why is the sword here? Sword represents communication, Gemini energy, Mercury energy, communication, Libra energy, the scales, Aquarius energy, the age of Aquarius. We set it up this way, gods and goddesses, that this consciousness would come into an awareness. Is that what I want to say? A consciousness that is aware. Be aware that you're aware. 107 on the clock. 7 represents mastering of the mind, completion. 7 plus 1 is 8. What goes up must come down. This is the first time that we are creating something new up under the sun. You ever hear people say, oh, there's nothing new up under the sun? Consciously, they just create more hell. This is the first time that our consciousness has created something new, where history is not repeating itself. Do you know how dynamic that is? That we've created something new that has never happened? Because history creating itself ain't done nothing but kept everybody in hell. Judgment in the reverse. Set the captives free. Show me these wicked ass witches. Weirdos. Sex magic. Bullshit. Destiny swap. Sit your punk ass down and take your ass to hell. Literally go to hell. You go to hell. Now work your way through that first. You know, it's like somebody saying they want to learn something. Okay, first step, go to hell. That's where you sent everybody else. So is it not robbery? Is it not fair by way of spiritual karmic law that you take your ass into the same hell that you put everybody else in? Now work your way through that. 108. Figure out why your consciousness wanted to create more hell, not just for yourself, but for other people. You got the Knight of Wands, passionate pursuit of other people's destinies. The whores of Babylon, they don't like it. We don't care. 109 on the clock. You can't take our gifts. You can't have nothing. Take your ass to hell. Work your way through this judgment in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. What goes up must come down. You sent a lot of people to hell. You thought you had power over everybody else, but you had no power over yourself. Who's out here trying to control somebody else more than they're trying to control their own consciousness? How did you get so delusional? When did you get to the point that you thought that you could make a god and a goddess a slave? History is not repeating itself. It won't do it. Not today, not never, and not from here on out. The spiritual laws have been added to. In addition to that, you can't do this no more. We are something new up under your sun. Death. So go die already. Go to hell and die. Go into your own demonic ass consciousness and figure out what the hell to do and why you in hell. Why are you in that state of consciousness? Why do you want to create more of that? We don't want it. We don't need it. We want peace, and peace is what we are, and peace is what we will have, a peace of mind. But what you cannot take is a piece of our consciousness. You can't take a piece of our mind. When you was excited, eating a piece of the devil's pie. Drugs and guns. That's what you was doing, keeping people sedated. Thugs and whores with a slice of the devil's pie. You had people thinking it was okay. Hey, it's okay. Listen, hey. You was happy to be dancing with the devil. You dancing with the devil, two-stepping with the devil, crip walking with the devil. It's 1:11 on the clock. That's what you was doing? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You about to go to hell. And you're going to have to work your way out of that. Now, how long that takes you, nobody knows, but it is 1:11 on the clock. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. We care enough that we don't care anymore because we feel like that's what we need to do in order for you to look at your own consciousness. The whores of Babylon got to set the captives free. So the captives, these are people that were under spell work, people that came to them for help, people that asked them for readings, people that they were doing and had on their altar. Y'all got all these people on y'all altar that y'all was supposed to be helping. Okay? Prime example. You got a practitioner. Hey, I'm going to help you clear your destiny, clear your path. I'm going to help you, whatever. They know that they're in the presence of a whole God and a whole goddess that's more powerful than them. And their biggest fear is that if you wake up, you won't see them as a master of some sort. You never needed these people. Even you meeting these unconscious people, these devils, these rebels, rebelling against divinity and consciousness, awakening, wanting people to stay in a dark ass dream state of hell, that was divinely orchestrated. You needed all of that on your destiny, but now that we don't need that no more, discard it and keep going. You've gone through a full death, transformation, and a resurrection. But what if you resurrected yourself into? Some people keep going back into hell like this. Wake up, die, in this hellish mind state. It's somebody that went to bed mad and woke up mad. Child, how did you go to bed in hell and wake up back in hell on a whole another day? It feels like the same day. Like, what are you doing? That's your level of consciousness. That's your level of commitment. Whores of Babylon. Clarify the whores of Babylon. The Chariot. Clarify the whores of Babylon. Confusion. The Emperor. Clarify the whores of Babylon and confusion. So these are people whose primary goal was to keep you asleep in a hellish mind state, anxiety, depression, sadness, black magic, death spells, preventing you from, death spells are supposed to prevent you from dying. And if you die a physical death, their goal was to cast your consciousness, your spirit into hell so that they could use you. This is why a lot of these old dark ass practitioners got people who've passed away on their altars, because they still want to use their hell-bent consciousness after the physical body. That went over somebody's head. That's okay. We'll go more into that later. Pray about that. Meditate on that and let that be revealed to you consciously. Listen. So the goal was to jump enough timelines, okay, that they would end up in the chariot forward movement, balancing the dark and the light as the leaders of the new world, okay, being seen as the saviors. But they forgot that they're in debt to the universe. They're in debt to the divine collective. They're in debt to divine consciousness. They're in debt. So now they're wounded. This is like jumping up and breaking a leg. This is like jumping up and you ain't got no strength or strength. Maybe you need some scrimps. Maybe you need some strawberries. I don't know. Whatever it is, you're a street walker. You a skin walker. You a skin talker. You are a diabolical. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse is a whole bunch of blood that was shed. A whole bunch of energy. So this was the goal. The Emperor, to control, to be a leader, a teacher, and jump with your consciousness, with your creativities, with your foresight, with your psychic abilities. That didn't happen. Because remember, it was still an illusion. They were under an illusion that you would stay asleep, and they were praying that you stayed unconscious. But they were under an illusion by way of their own delusion, stuck in their own hellish mindset of unconsciousness. That's what this is. This ain't leadership. This is not helping the world, keeping people asleep. Got the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse and the Nine of Wands. Now they're wounded. Now they need you. Now they're feeling hopeless. They're in that suicidal energy. Hierophant in the reverse. Whores of Babylon. My candles are dancing. It's a lot of people being set free from hell. A lot of people being delivered, alive and unalived. Yeah. Go into the light, Carol Ann. It was a trick, Carol Ann. Don't go into the light. The light is hot. That's fire. The lake of fire, that's hell, boo. Don't go into that light. That ain't the kind of light we talking about. The light we talking about is the enlightenment, understanding, the heaven within. Clarify the Hierophant in the reverse. Justice is here. This is these people's worst nightmare. So this is why you're watching them spaz out. This is why you're watching them go asunder. Okay? This wanted to come up in the reverse. Two of Cups in the reverse. We don't want your cup. We feel like you need to go to hell. Yeah, a lot of celebrity energy. Don't follow these celebrities, child. Don't be like these people. Don't be like nobody but yourself. If you don't know who you are, sit with yourself long enough that you figure it out. You got to stop watching other people. This is just my recommendation. This is what I would tell myself if I were you. And I hope I'm talking to versions and high vibrational conscious levels of myself by way of the reflection of who you are. I'm just confirming what it is that you already know, my beautiful conscious family. But for those of you that are unconscious and have been believing what you've been seeing, I recommend that you adjust your eyesight. I recommend that you take off the rose-colored glasses and that you wake up. Death and star. This is like celebrity, idolatry, idolizing people, worshiping other people, feeling inadequate, creating your own mental hell. Admiration that leads to obsession. And this is why you got so many people that wanted to swap out consciousness with you. This is why you had so many people that wanted to take your energy. They were more lost than the people that they tried to keep in captivity. Death is here. Star and death. Possessions, wealth, making you feel inadequate if you don't have a big car or big hair or long nails or whatever the hell. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever that is. Whatever that this is why so many of them were doing poverty spells. They wanted you to suffer. They wanted you not. You're like, bitch, I am money. What are you talking about? I got everything that I need. Did you eat today? You're doing well. Did you wake up today? You're doing good. Can you blink your eyes? Yes, I can. Can you think for yourself? Yes, I can. They did amnesia spells. They wanted to send everybody to hell. As above is below. Now that above is below, they in danger, honey. It's 118. The gods have figured it out, honey. The Babylonian, listen, whores of Babylonian ass energy, Jezebelian ass, rotten from the inside out energies. Your assignment is literally to go to hell and work your way out from there. You will no longer abuse your once given power. You've been stripped of your power. The moment you went to try to attack a real hierophant, chosen children, you were already defeated. You were just the last to know. So when you working at your altar, working with them bones, working with the dust, talking on the phone, casting all them spells, who's going to tell them? Who's going to teach them? The devil will. Go your ass to hell. It's time to die. You can make it easy or you can go willingly. You know what it is that you've done. Clarify the 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords energy. Clarify the 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords energy. Clarify the 8 of Swords. Clarify the 8 of Swords. Self-imposed imprisonment. Self-imposed. Remember what you did? You don't remember? You even walked around saying, ooh, ain't nothing new up under the sun. History repeats itself. You wanted everybody to be stuck in a state of deja vu, in a matrix where they couldn't figure out their way in a maze. You ever seen somebody in a maze and ain't no way to get out? You just going around. You ever seen, you just go. Now we watching y'all like little rats in the matrix chase after cheese. Money in your whole financial system is crashing. How are you charging people to live on this planet? I promise you, the conscious level, we all gonna be living for free on this planet. And free represents a free consciousness, consciously free from bondage. Let the captives free. A whole bunch of free-minded people? Oh my God. Consciously, you just created. It just happened. Hey, listen, it just happens. Nine of Swords in the reverse. These are people that were attacking your consciousness, attacking your children. This is what they're under severe judgment for. With the devil, death, and 6 of Cups. They got to be held accountable for the people that they unalived on a physical level. For the people that they tried to keep captive in a spiritual consciousness. So that means after the physical body, okay, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, or whatever you want to call that, from must to mustier, however you want to call it, from bust to bustier, whatever it is, okay? These people try to capture people's souls, their consciousness, right? So this is what the severe state of mind by way of being in a Heauxs mind state. Now, some people were reborn back into a hell mentally. Because they kept spinning in a loop, coming back. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Why am I here? Why? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? The Knight of Swords in the reverse, okay? The Whores of Babylon. Babylon. Yeah, these are star energies. Star energies. A lot of people that were sitting on stolen destinies, because remember, they lost their souls a long time ago, which is really why they needed yours. So if they left you in the 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and you didn't believe that you had what it took to get out, manifest, whatever, they pretty much just left you hoping on a prayer that you would never awaken to the fact that they could have never taken your consciousness. That you were in a self-imposed delusional illusion nightmare that you created. Huh? What? Yeah, you created 1, 2, 3 on the clock, but they helped. And all the while they wanted to shine before you as being people that you would aspire to be or hope to be. Turn the TV off, turn the TV off. Hey, turn the TV off, turn the TV off. Remote viewing into your mind's eye. Telling you a vision, tell live vision. television, telephone, telephonically, everything is telepathically, consciousness. Then they created devices based off of your consciousness. So much so that your spawn, demon spawn. Child, hold up. What's going on with the say? The says are very literal right now. I respect my say. Needless to say, let's just say less. Your phones, the smartphones, telephonically became more smart, or so they thought, than you. And this is why the algorithms started to let you know where you needed to go. When you picked up your smartphone, only to realize, wait a minute, what's her phone number? Even when you go and they say, do you have a phone number? You're standing there like, oh, I don't call myself that often. You make excuses for being unconscious. It's okay. Now that you know better, do better. Consciously wake up. Intentionally. Because even as I speaketh right now, this goes out into the consciousness of other people who are resonating with this conscious level. It's contagious. The Heauxs of Babylon are like, what? Huh? What? Huh? Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Huh? What? They waking up. Queen of Wands energy. This is confidence. Clarify this Hierophant in the reverse. Hierophant in the reverse. Procrastination, delays, too busy. They can't heal. They need you. You're the real healers. You're the real healers. The tables are turned. Ain't no fun now that all these rabbits and trickster energies don't have the gun. Clarify what's going on with the Six of Swords in the reverse and the Hierophant in the reverse. Temperance, a fall from grace. These are fallen angels who thought they had figured it out. So smart that they were dumb. Knowledgeable, but unconscious. Knowledgeable, like, stolen secrets, watching you, studying you. Knowledgeable. Anything you watch long enough, you can figure it out. You're going to learn the way it moves. You can kind of predict the way somebody's going to move, how they're going to think if you watch them long enough, right? This is what they did. They studied you. But in studying you, they lost sense of themselves. How you studying me more than you studying yourself? You don't even know yourself. They left themselves out in poverty. They left themselves in a spiritual hell. Too busy doing divination on you, watching you, studying you. How are you doing this? Skinwalker ass energy. The skinwalkers are the worst to me. I pray they burn in hell probably a lot harder than these other ones. Skinwalkers are dangerous people. These are people that get a taste of your energy and they start to fiend. They start to itch and scratch and shit. They're like, oh my God. Oh. They feel alive. When they once were dead, now they sitting up on, the Lord is going to protect my whole family. You a whole damn skinwalker. Remember, you was body jumping and body hunching and body humping. Remember? Sleeping with your brother's wife through his body, you skinwalking demon. You was a skinwalker, you dirty dog. The Heauxs of Babylonians, the Heauxs of Babylon are long gone. They gotta let the captives free. In letting the captives free, that means they have to face their own demons, their own entities. All the people they unalived are waiting for them in hell. Every single person that they unalived by way of spell work is waiting for them in hell. This is what I heard. I'm just being honest. Consciously, intentionally, they were diabolically leaving themselves out in the cold. Too busy watching you, just watching you. Just imagine they're watching you. They're studying you. What happens to them? What happens to them when you start to watch you and not them? They cease to exist. The watcher is now watching you. Watch yourself. Watch your thoughts. Watch your words. Watch your consciousness. So what happens to the watcher that's too busy watching you? What happens to their consciousness? It's in a hell state of mind. Because you're so aware now of your consciousness. You've eliminated fear. You know can't nobody take your destiny. Can't nobody take your power. You done snatched all their little power and whatever they thought they had over you. You done cut the puppet strings and it's a wrap. They little candles and dolls and shit ain't working. The dolls are haunting them. They waking up nightmares. They dreaming with their eyes wide open and having nightmares. Can you imagine walking around in the daytime with your eyes wide open and you in a straight nightmare, in a state of hell? Because you was too busy watching somebody else, wanting to be somebody else instead of collaborating consciously to be conscious in a new consciousness. You wanted an old, outdated consciousness, so you left yourself in the Five of Pentacles, too busy watching people. Too busy wanting a slave. Too busy, I'm the baddest bitch. I'm more prettier than her. I got more of this. My booty bigger. You sound dumb. You sound stupid. And then you found more unconscious people to make you feel inadequate. And you created more of a conscious level of hell. So when people didn't have certain things on an earthly level, you wanted them to feel inadequate. Not giving a damn took everybody to hell. How the hell we gonna have a whole bunch of people in the world that don't care? What is that? Collectively, we got to work together consciously to bring something into manifestation by way of being awakened. This is what we came back to do. The rest is just a perk. But it's not worth sacrificing a life. These people sacrifice you for money, gains, a car, a child, hair, money that's falling apart. Okay? Currency that don't got no doggone value. A Bitcoin that's declining. Like shit like that. This is what they unalive people for. They became slaves to other people in these groups. Oh, I'm initiated. And the higher ups, no, the higher ups are in hell, boo. They just pulling the strings on you. And somebody pulling the strings on them. And the demon is pulling the strings on them. And the string is being pulled. And now you realize you got a whole rope of diabolical ass lies. And you just lost who you was. You sold your soul. Sitting in the big old house and it's just empty. Unhappy. But what happened? You got the house, you got the car. What happened? You got the BBL and now that smells? Stop getting these BBLs. Stop doing that. That's a form of rotting flesh. You got people now talking about how these BBLs stink. Rotting. Whole assholes is out here spooky as hell. Because somebody's telling you this is what you got to look like in order to feel like a woman. This is what you got to look like. This is it. Well, wait a minute. When do I get to be myself? No, thank you. I think I'm going to wake up from your nightmare and you can stay there in hell trying to be something that seems to not be working out for you because you got to keep going back to the demon feeding the devil. How is that being free when you got to keep feeding a demonic force? When you got to keep aligning with this jinn? They so tired. Let me tell you something. These hordes of Babylon. Babylon. They so tired. Look at them. Look at this here. Look at this here. Jealousy, envy, stupid. They think about you more than they think about themselves. Rotten in their own skin. You got the Five of Wands. They're so tired of putting offerings, y'all. They're so tired of spending their resources on spell work. They so tired. Every time they talk to the practitioner's like, okay, well, we need to do it again. They so tired. They so tired. Look at all the work they got to do just to copy you. Skinwalkers. 133 on the clock. Clarify the skinwalkers. Look at all of what they got to do. Look what they got to do. Cursed. These are cursed people, cursed bloodlines, cursed lineage. Bound to hell with no way to get out because they've wasted time. They procrastinated. They stayed too long unconsciously thinking that they had some type of power and control. Skinwalker ass energy. Skinwalkers are fiends. They thirst. They're like drug addicts. They're tired. They tired of setting up them altars. They tired of playing with them dolls. They tired. You should see them over their altars. They be like, okay. They get a client that called them. Oh, well, somebody's still doing this and that. And they working the client. They tired. They not even getting no pleasure out of it anymore. The hell that they've created is the one that they're submerged in. And they got to let the captives free. But the captives are already free. Because the captives are going to watch them fall. And that's when they're going to know. Eight of Cups. You're going to have people walking away like you full of shit. I don't need you to let me free. I don't need you to let me out. I don't need you to help me with a damn thing. Matter of fact, let me walk away from you. This is what the captives who were never captive. They were just simply captivated by an illusion of hell. You know, you ever seen somebody stare too much in the flame? Staring in the fire? And they get hypnotized by the flame, by the fire, by the hell. Okay? No longer can these people hack into your consciousness because you're not allowing it. And even when they think they figured you out mentally, they'll say, oh, I know him. He coming back. Oh, I know her. She coming back. Even when they think they figured you out mentally, you've already ascended to a whole new consciousness. Even in their hell-bent mind state, they're thinking about you in an outdated consciousness. They're holding on to narratives from 6 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, only to realize that they've lost track of time. Cursed lineage, they lost. It's over. These are the real losers. 10 of Cups in the reverse, 6 of Wands in the reverse. Why 6 of Wands? It's fire. Why water? Lack of consciousness, lack of love. They're in the reverse. Cups represents emotions, love, cleansing, death. Still waters run deep. Your body is primarily made up of water. Why do you think that vampires are always thirsty? They can't get enough water. Because they lack nutrients. They lack blood. They ain't got no soul operating in that vessel. Their soul has been in hell. Which is why they're thirsty under these moon energies. Why they're thirsty. Feeding. Oh, it's a blood moon. It's the hunter's moon. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to go after them. We're going to harvest their energy. These are empty, rotten from the inside out as vessels in their own mind of hell. Own consciousness of hell, thinking that they're keeping you bound, but really, they're losing. They just bound to curses. Being casted into some type of weird-ass illusion, delusional consciousness that just don't even exist on any timeline, on any plane. We've eliminated it. 8 of Cups. The captives are letting themselves free. Harvesting. 7 of Pentacles is harvesting. Can't harvest no more. People are waking up. You got people right now saying, I'm not going back over there to that prayer. I'm not going back over there. Like, damn, I've been going to see you for 3 years. I've been getting readings from you for 3 years. I've been going over here, going over there. This does not mean that there are not good teachers, not good readers. That's not what I'm saying. If the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't, then, hey, this ain't your story. Let it go. Let it flow. Put some wings on it. Put some wheels on it. Let that shit out. Roll it away, get it away. It don't belong to you. Don't consciously attach your consciousness to it. That is my recommendation. That's what I would do if I was consciously you. I can only tell you what I would do. You got the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Harvesting energy. Yeah, people are not giving their time and their energy to these people. Remember, whatever you put your mind on is where your energy goes. And now that you're eliminating these people from your mind's eye, which means that you're not going towards these people, whoever they are. This could be family members. This could have been friends. This could have been practitioners, whores of Babylon. I'm getting like witches, y'all. Dark ass witches that thought they had some doggone power. And you watching them, walk around with your energy, basically. Watching them get wealthy off of your money. Wealthy off of your prosperity. And you're like, you know what the hell? I got to get the hell up out of here. Mentally. The only thing you did was turn the lights on and everybody burned up and went to hell. At least the people that thought you was stuck. Oh, God. So in reality, these whores of Babylon, hold on, y'all. Thought it not robbery to affect your earthly experience and catch you up in some type of self-imposed imprisonment. Self-imposed is the key term. It's a prison that you yourself had to let yourself out of. This is what your ascension is about. This is where you're ascending to. This is why I'm picking up on this consciousness. Okay? This is why you got people that realize they don't need certain things anymore. There's certain things that you once needed. Okay? You don't need it anymore. Even this card flew out with the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. This is like letting go of a mind state. Letting go of, I'm getting so many words. Wow, I don't know which one to pick. Whew, consciousness. Whew. Wake up, stay woke, listen. You let go of delusions, illusions, lies, things that you had attached yourself to, things that had attached itself to you. In order for these people to affect your consciousness, you have to open yourself up to them. So when you watch them, whoever that is, okay, be that on TV, real life, wherever your energy is going, whatever it is that you are watching, that you've given your consciousness over to, you need to call your consciousness back and stay woke. So much so that nobody has to come along and wake you up. However, your awakening is going to awaken a lot of people and make them more conscious just because of the energy that you carry. This is like releasing a certain ideology, a certain philosophy, a certain theology, certain things that you needed. Now, we've already studied the past. We've gone into Egyptology. We've gone into Ifa. We've gone into voodoo. We've gone into hoodoo. We've gone into slavery. We've gone into this. We have done that so many times that by now you should have extracted what it is that you need in order to be somebody new. Some of us went so deep into the Akashic records by way of the shadows, we started to feel the pain of the ancestors, creating dis-ease in the physical body. I saw a Reiki healer online. I caught this reading. I can't even say it was a reading. It was like an interview. A Reiki healer. This might have been back in January, who was like really into her spiritual practice, was into tarot, and all of a sudden she's just like, oh, I'm going back to the church. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. So I said, okay, interesting, right? So I sat with that energy. I said, okay, this is on my timeline. What am I supposed to get from this? Everything that I see in my world, y'all, I dissect it. What is this? What am I supposed to learn? Why is this? Why is this here? What is this a reflection of? What am I seeing in this person that reminds me of me? What am I supposed to get, right? So I listened to the whole interview, like a 2-hour interview. She was a Reiki healer. She was somebody that knew how to move energy around and heal people. She saw people go through awakenings, detaching from demonic entities, whatever they were harboring in their physical body. that had attached itself to them. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. My phone hopefully has not died. Hopefully y'all are still with me by the time I plug this up. If not, I will have to start another video because I am far from done. So listen. So this particular Reiki healer, she ran back to the church. Okay? She's like, everything is demonic. I don't want to do it. Yada, yada, yada. Right? I don't want to be a Reiki healer no more. And something sent her back. Okay, I know my camera is shaking. Something sent her back to the church, right? A little story time on a commercial break. Thank you for being here in Spiritual Court. Come on in. All the gang stalkers are just people that are in hell, y'all. You don't have to attach your consciousness to that if they're in the comments, okay? So just know that they're always watching, because that's what happens when you watch people who've mastered certain levels of hell. That's what they like to do. So this is why they go to and fro. 144 on the clock. So listen, this Reiki healer, she was like, okay, that's it. You know what? Reiki. She was doing Reiki for like 8, 9, 10 years. And she did a Reiki session where I guess it was like, I guess you could call them like yoga mats. And she was helping people to heal. So she knew how to use her hands to pull out certain energies and things like that. Well, something happened. Something happened that shook her to her core. She's like, I'm not doing it no more. I don't want to do it. You know, it's all demonic, da 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 da. So when I really sat with the energy, and I meditated on this probably for like 6 months, y'all. I never rush to judgment when I come to bring y'all stories of things that I've extracted, something that has kept me awakened, or something that I've awakened to by way of a reality, right? 145 on the clock. I'm not exempt from going through death, transformations, and rebirth. I'm not even the same person I was when I started this platform. What a beautiful thing, right? Needless to say. When I really looked at her story and I said, what happened here? The first thing my highest version of myself said, my highest consciousness, which I feel is my intuition, my discerning self, which is always the truth, whether we want to admit that or not, because I was very open to the truth. So I knew that the truth would find me by way of a spiritual download. I heard, ooh, she opened up a door to something and it scared the shit out of her. That's the first thing I said. I said, ooh, she opened up a door to something and it scared her. What did she see? What did she encounter? And so the more I kind of went more into the consciousness and why I was encountering this and why she was saying that all of this was evil now, the first thing, another thing that I saw was that she had done something spiritually that she knew nothing about. This could have been spell work. This is what she wasn't telling people. Okay? This is what she wasn't telling people. And so I just kind of kept that to myself silently. But whatever she did by way of opening up somebody's consciousness, she saw into somebody's conscious hell, and it thrusted her into fear. And she didn't like what she saw. She was not able to sustain herself in somebody's level of consciousness. And whoever the consciousness that she tapped into, whoever she was helping to heal, they had latched on to her so much so out of fear that she felt the hell that they were going through, and it terrified her. So much so that she could have believed that she had an entity attached to her. This is what happens when healers don't teach other people how to heal themselves. They become debilitated. They become, in this fragmented mind state that you are a necessity to their awakening. As opposed to an accessory. We're just passing each other. That's it. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your faith in one person. They're just a person. Hold that space of love and light. but not to the point where somebody is so thirsty for your energy that it becomes vampiristic. And that's what I believe happened. She had a client. This person believed in her more than they believed in themselves. And she literally became a part of their consciousness. And she was like, whoa, 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 wait. What is going on here? And it scared the shit out of her. Yeah. Now she's a Christian woman that wears a lot of makeup, which is still a form of magic. But you know, I respect her evolution. It was very interesting. I sent her love and consciousness and awakening on her journey. But I thought that was so interesting. And it doesn't mean that we don't get to points where it's like, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do Reiki. I want to move to something else. We're not obligated to stay in certain levels of consciousness when you feel that you need to evolve to something else. But something has to consciously make sense at some point on your spiritual journey. You might have spiritual teachers that you once needed. I got so much respect for all my spiritual teachers, be it good, bad, and indifferent. Child, I love them all. You know why? They showed me parts of myself that were fragmented. They showed me parts of myself that were beautiful, that were horrible. But skinwalkers, you're under judgment. Clarify these skinwalkers. Skinwalkers, toxic, arguments, losing it. They're coming up as toxic energy. This says toxic, drama, arguments, incompatible. Skinwalkers, whores of Babylon. Confusion energy, toxic energy. These are poisonous people. Their energy is poisonous. They're rotten. When they come into your house, certain things just don't work right no more. They eat away at everything because they're skinwalkers. They're just looking for somebody to attach to. Itchy skin people. People scratching and being tormented out of hell. These are people that are literally, their soul is so far from them that they don't even remember what they're here doing. They believe that all of this is real. Their reality is that of being hell-bent. It's a mind that is bending, it's doors that's open in somebody's mental consciousness that's hell-bound. Close them doors in your mind that you got open to hell. Skinwalkers. That's why they thirst for your energy. That's why they try to astral project. That's why they try to come for you. Look, they ain't got no love. They don't have no emotions. King of Cups in the reverse. These are people that don't care about you. They just mimic emotions. And they are so convincing because they've studied you. They've studied real emotions. They sit back, they watch you. Sociopathic, narcissistic, no feelings. People with no feelings ain't got no soul. I don't know why psychology keeps not connecting the dots or why they don't want people. Well, I do know why. Because that would be too much like right. They want to keep you in hell. Narcissists are people that are empty vessels. Sociopaths are empty vessels. If you watch serial killers, okay, I don't know if y'all know, but I had gone to school for psychology. My journey is very interesting. When I really think about it, I know I'm not exempt from having an interesting journey. I just have minds and this is what it is, right? So I would study like psychologists. Careful when you study the consciousness of somebody else without realizing who you are consciously. That's what I learned about psychology. A lot of these psychologists need psychologists. A lot of these therapists need therapists because they tapped into so many people's consciousness. By the time at the end of the day, they're like, oh my God. A lot of psychologists get into psychology to figure themselves out. But they sit there and take notes on everybody else's consciousness, forgetting about themselves. Don't leave yourself in the Five of Pentacles. Don't leave your consciousness out in the Five of Pentacles. Needless to say, some of these serial killers, you know, we would study them. It was a part of my class. Ted Bundy was very like peculiar. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but was he not somebody that was a teacher? This is the kind of guy that would go murder people. Very well respected. Okay. Damn near got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay. And would go to class and teach the students about the minds of a sociopath. And when he explained how he unalived his victims, he was so calm that it was unnerving. He says the only time that he could feel was when he would kill. And then there was this impulsive energy, impulsive, something would take over him. It's like when the sun went down, he would change. He would morph into something other than himself. And he knew he had to go do it again. As much as he wanted to resist it. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Describing how when he would murder people, he could literally feel their souls leave their physical body. Child, I know you lied. Psychology has kept a lot of people hell-bent. Suppressing a consciousness that needs to be free will never, ever make somebody free. Psychotropic medications can't free the soul. It just puts you in a psychotropic, psychological war, a looping energy that at some point nobody has to control because you're on auto repeat. Wake up, listen. So psychology, connecting the dots to narcissism, sociopathic, psychopathic behavior, needs to just label all of that as demonic. I sat with a very famous psychologist after I lost a baby. And he was so instrumental in my life. Very, very interesting guy. He had been a psychologist for 40 years. He had talked to a lot of people. And he told me a story about him and Manson. How Manson was one of his clients, how he had to go into the correctional facilities, and how he sat with Manson. You know, Manson, I don't know if y'all know the story, back in the 70s, got a lot of people to kill for him. He never himself committed a crime or unalived anybody. He had people under mind control that were literally doing what it was that he wanted them to do. The mind is a very powerful asset. One mustn't get lost in illusions of hell and giving somebody the remote control to program you into their own consciousness of hell. By the time I ended my therapy session with him, because I had lost a baby, so I had to go to this class for post-trauma, PTSD, you know, at that time, in order to go back to work. Looking back in hindsight, I did not know how that moment would be instrumental with what it is that I'm doing now for the world. Needless to say, that was something that I had to go through. And so I did. And I remember him telling me after sitting with me, he says, you know, I've sat with a lot of people. He said, you would be a really good therapist. The first thing I said was, me? So I dove more into psychology. I was already into psychology therapy, just studying the mind was so fascinating. But again, studying the mind in order to figure out my own mind. That's really what psychologists do. And I realized, wait a minute. This thing is really layered. This mental thing is really, really layered. Hold up. I don't know if I want to be caught up in all these consciousness where there's no soul. Most of these serial killers ain't got no soul. They're just a portal for demonic possession, which is really a variation of a demon that they've always been since the beginning of time. They just chose a different vessel. They even had a guy who was up for the death penalty And he told the judge, listen, I know you're going to give me the death penalty. Go ahead, let's get this over with so I can just come back and do this shit all over again. I said, what? In a court of law, my right hand to the Most High God, he sure did. He said, look, I know you're going to unalive me. Go ahead, let's just do this. He said, I'm just going to keep coming back and being reborn, and I'm going to come back and wreak the same damn havoc. He said, I'm just going to choose another body. Skinwalkers, your time is up. Okay? Harvesting energy. They don't have any secrets. They don't have anything that they can ride on. They don't have anything that they can stand on. They've been riding on a lie, riding on an illusion. They ain't got no soul. They're just empty vessels that are rotting from the inside out. They're thirsty. They're thirsty for a soul. Okay? Just a little story time there. Listen. They refuse to walk away with the 8 of Cups in the reverse. Make sure all this stuff is in the right place. Hold up. Okay? Make sure my cards are right. So you got skinwalkers. Doesn't matter. The story is still the same. The truth is the truth. The cards are just an extension of the truth. Clarify these skinwalkers. Toxic, drama, arguments. They could be all fighting, agitated, angry, mad. Because they don't have your energy, because you're awakening. Remember, their prayers are based on the fact that you stay hell-bent, that you stay in this weird-ass, God complex series of, worshiping false idols and false gods and all that weird stuff, whatever that is, right? So these people are fighting. They're angry. They're mad. Look at all the fire. Hell, lake of fire energy. 5 of Wands is fire. Warfare. Demons. Prayers not getting met. Trying to speak shit into the atmosphere and it just burn up. You know why? Ain't no soul attached to it. Especially now that you're conscious and you done called your power back. So the skinwalkers are fighting. Fighting death. Fighting demons. Fighting spirits. Conjures in the graveyard. Witchcraft. Voodoo that you abused. Disrespecting your ancestors, conjuring up angry ancestors is what I just heard. Tormenting ancestors. They was in the bed with the torment ancestors. They loved the ones that, my grandmama was a cold ass witch. You conjured up her wicked ass with her nasty earthly experiences and all the curses she taught you with her wicked self. This is what I'm seeing with the dead cursed lineage. Remember, the 10 of Cups came up in the reverse. Take note. The 10 of Cups came up in the reverse. 5 of Wands and death. Didn't I say the 10 of Cups came up in the reverse? Now it's coming up in the upright. Why? Because you got to set the captives free. The more generational curses you break, some of these people are in your own family, the more generational curses you break and saying, I'm not taking the oath of the devil. I don't want to be no damn vampire. I don't want to be no damn skinwalker. I'm not feeding off of the moon cycles. I'm not going out here trying to suck the blood out of people's bodies and children and all this mess that y'all into. You set the captives free because you broke the curses within your DNA. People in your bloodline. I declare and decree that any demonic contracts by way of skin-walking ass, warlock, whores of Babylonian ass energy that have come before me, any mistakes that my ancestors made before me, any tormented ancestors, I denounce you. We ain't got no place here. We ain't got nothing else left to do. You can't work through me and I don't want to work through you. You've been casted out. We don't need that consciousness. No longer will the generations that come after me know the hell-bent consciousness. Hell to the no. 10 of Cups, soul tribe, family represent. Listen, clarify the skinwalkers. So the more we stand up, the more they die. These people are angry, irritated, mad, screaming at each other, fighting. They ain't got no good energy. They ain't got no soul. Page of Wands energy. That's like getting information. Clarified. And feeling defeated. They can't even take from children no more. The more you become conscious, you add to levels of consciousness throughout this atmosphere that is awakening people in the world, honey. This is how powerful you are. Just one consciousness creates a ripple effect throughout the entire planet, throughout the entire galaxy of conscious behavior. It is an awakening. It is the great awakening. It is eliminating falsehoods. This is why we're watching Babylon fall and be destroyed. Look at the world. Tune in, tune out. Watch and pray, pray and watch. But don't attach yourself to these weird ass ideas. All these illusions around money and what people value. Clarify. What do you value? Value your consciousness. Stay woke. Don't go back to sleep. These people wanted to put you back to sleep. You like, I can't unsee your wicked ass, your hordes of Babylonian ass. Bitch, no, we're not going back to sleep. Bye-bye. We don't want your deals. We don't want your offers. We don't want your sex. We don't want you coming around. We don't want you coming back for reconciliation. We don't want your weird ass apologies. We don't need any of that. What do we need this for? These people need you more than they need themselves. They need your energy. They need your soul. Their time is up. Because the atmosphere by way of consciousness is saying, y'all had enough time to wake up. Like, damn. Two of Cups in the reverse. Now y'all get to go to hell. You got to go to hell. It's a state of unconsciousness. So stay there. Because maybe that's where you're going to figure it out. And these people are currently in hell. Why do you think the Five of Wands is here? They're not fighting us. They can't even reach us telepathically, psychologically. On the consciousness that we're on, will burn the shit out of them if they even try to attempt to think it. Why do you think they sitting up with headaches and shit? They can't even imagine your level of awakening. You done watched us all that time. Prayed that we stayed asleep. And you mean to tell me the only thing you did with what it is that you learned was stay more hell-bent? Go to hell. Good luck. Death, Five of Wands, Five of Swords. This is like being defeated in hell. Swords is mental. Conversations, communications, lack thereof, death, and Five of Wands. Refusing to die. Coming in with these weird ass, hey, how you been? Okay, shut the hell up. Literally, shut the hell up. Sit the hell down. Go to hell. Toxic. Clarify that. Words of battle. I cannot make this up. They wanted to attack your sweet waters, baby. They wanted to attack your sweetness, your kindness. Whoever these weird ass people are, skin walking ass, demonic ass people, they itching and scratching. Scratching and sniffing. Ren and Stimpy. Scratching, sniffing, looking for some skin to jump in, baby. Knight of Swords in the reverse. What's the Knight of Swords in the reverse? Talking nasty, you nasty bastard. Mad. Two of Wands, because we get to move forward. Clarify the Two of Wands. Because we get to move forward. And we're doing it with love, and we don't give a damn. And we're only giving to people that give to us. We're only around conscious people. We're being very selective with the people that we look at, who we talk to, what we do. This is conscious behavior. This is awakened behavior. Being mindful of what it is that you do when you do it. You ever seen somebody do something and you like, why you do that? They like, I don't know. How you sitting up there unconscious? You don't know why you did that? What the hell type of trickster energy are you? Watching people do stuff and they don't know why they doing it? What the hell is wrong with you? Why you do that? I don't know. You don't know. What you mean you don't know? You need to find out. Go to hell and figure it out. Because sometimes in hell is when you realize that the prisons that you created in your mind is something now you got to clean up. Ain't nobody cleaning up these people's hell. We already doing these people a favor by way of calling back our power. That's a favor. That really is. King of Wands energy, war energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Toxic drama. Justice is here. We got war, we got fire, we got earth, we got water, we got air. Air, wind, fire. I mean earth, wind, fire, and earth, wind, fire, and water. Thank you, Spirit. Justice. Air energy. Judgment. The moon. You still got these little wicked ass little vampires, child. They waiting on the full moon? Okay, we're going to expose you now. Clarify this full moon that's coming up. They going to do it again? So they think, child, good luck with that. Clarify the 10 of swords and the moon. You're going straight to hell on the full moon. Watch. They watch it, waiting, studying, trying to see how to come in with these weird ass, fake ass offers. Making investments that's just going to backfire. Look at this. Bad offers, bad investments. How you going from bad to worse, from worse to worse. Page of swords, hoping and praying that somebody lets you get a little piece of the little energy. When you get to the point where you got to harvest other people's energy, child, you are in danger. When you get to the point where you can't call back your own power and your own consciousness, you are in danger. Seek help. Go within. Wake up. Get rid of the hell that you created. What the hell is going on? When you get to the point where you got to harvest people's beauty, power, energy for resources, you are a devil burning in hell. You are an empty vessel. When you find yourself over a picture burning candles and burning whatever and sticking pins and dolls and I'm going to take her power and I want her sex and her, you are a devil burning in hell, and you the last to know. You are the dead of the dead. Let the dead bury the dead. Y'all going to bury each other. This is what you're going to do under the full moon. We're not going to touch you. We're just going to let you burn yourself. Look at you. You can't harvest a damn thing. And this is what's going to happen on the full moon. Ooh. Full moon is full of doom. Judgments. Y'all are hell bent. Go to hell. You really smell diabolical spells and curses. Hell bent. You hell bent. Hell back. Hordes of Babylon. Beelzebubian ass people. Is it Beelzebub? Beelzebubian ass. Luciferian ass. El Waswas. Disciples of Lucifer. Disciples of confusion. Chaos, turmoil. You will go to hell each and every time. You're rotten and you stink in spiritual court. You can't harvest a damn thing. You need chosen people's energy to even try to harvest. You ain't even got your own energy. How you sitting on stolen goods? So what happens when everybody calls back their power? What happens when everybody calls back their power and sustains themselves in the level of consciousness that they're awakened, that they're not going to let you put them in a self-imposed imprisonment, creating a hell for them that you created for yourself? We don't want to attach to your hell-bent consciousness. No, thank you. What happens when you can't dominate nobody? You get dominated by your own hell-bent ass unconscious behavior. We just did you a favor. Divine intervention. We just did you a favor. We just told you what's going to happen under this full moon. You got people right now sleeping, resting up. This is how tired they are. This is how exhausted they are. You got the 5 of Wands, exhausted. They fighting each other. They snapping on each other. Well, you said the spell worked, and we got to do it 3 more times. Somebody want to take a nap. Somebody want to lay down. Somebody ain't, the iron levels ain't right. Baby, they all the way off. Blood levels is off. Blood, they got all these diseases and shit they done cooked up. Because you decided to let yourself out of this cage of mental imprisonment, collective. And not only that, you're so beautiful by way of divine intervention, love, that you said, oh, okay, now that I done figured this thing out, I'm going to help other people do the same thing. Okay. Dangerous. They looking like, oh my God. This is how they looking like, oh shit. They're like, oh my God, here they come with all this love and enlightenment. It's more than love and light. What's light is their asses lit on fire. What is enlightenment is awakening, conscious behavior, doing things consciously, intentionally for the greater good of humanity. It's long overdue, but it's on time. You know what I mean? Okay, it's time. What seemed like it was a long time was really a short amount of time. in the divine consciousness. It's just a speck, just a moment, just a little particle of consciousness, of awakening, okay? So we got the Emperor in the reverse, okay? Judgment in the reverse. They already cursed and hexed. They cursed their bloodline. They lost. They don't know what to do. They in hell and they need you to stay there with them, and don't nobody want to stay there with them. So they're trying to think of a way to get you to give to them. With the Six of Pentacles, these are entitled people. They want you to give them your energy. So the moment you start to starve these people, they die. The moment you start to eliminate them out of your daily activities, this could just be a thought. This could just be you like thinking about what happened in the past, okay? At least you turn into a pillar of salt. You might need to control or delete some of these memories out of your consciousness, Divine Collective. If you haven't done that already, I could be seeing what you've already done. The moment you did, these people started to starve. They're not even a thought in your mind's eye. You're not even a thought in our mind's eye. That's what I just heard. Your hell-bent consciousness is not a thought in our mind's eye. Whatever you're cooking up around the full moon, because somebody's waiting on the full moon. Somebody's already defeated with the Five of Swords, child. They exhausted and tired, working with the dead, tired of going to the graveyard. Somebody's tired of making an offering. Knight of Swords in the reverse. They got the nerve to be trying to still curse and gossip and send little nasty hell-bent activity, child. This is their own mental hell that they're in. Nobody's attacking them. It's them. Five of Wands and the Knight of Swords. We're not even around. We've disconnected. You can't feed from us. You can't feed off of our compassion and love and pure. We're giving that to people that are conscious because it's equal give and take, because we're on the same timeline. We are on the same agenda. We're not giving this to y'all. So they're waiting and watching, waiting for an opportune time to create the Ten of Swords again with the Four of Pentacles, child. It's harvesting whatever season that they're waiting for this full moon. This is over. Clarify the full moon. It's over. For a slice of the devil's pie. Drugs and guns, blood and bones, stones and sticks, dolls and pins. All that shit is burning up for a slice of the devil's pie. That's not a good thing, my friend. I know talking to you, you know talking to me. Two of Pentacles in the reverse, baby. I don't see that you're going to make it out. I feel like you're going to put yourself in more hell-bent energy. That's what you want to do with your consciousness. Do not involve me. Do not involve the Divine Collective. Your pens and your sticks and your stones and your bones and your curses and your words are burning up in hell just like you. Every curse you think, every spell you thought you were speaking over innocent people who were simply awakening to their God-given divinity, power, and birthright has been rendered null and void by all consciousness people all over the planet. We don't need you no more. Hashatan, sit your punk ass down and take your people with you. Watch them all stand in line for a slice of the devil's pie. They want your blood. They want your bloodline for a slice of the devil's pie. Guns and drugs. Look at y'all. Retrograde is going to beat the shit out of you and cast you into hell at the same time, right up under the full moon. The moment you sit at your altar and you start to think and or try to create these vain imaginations by way of deflection and projection and not taking accountability, every curse that you speak, every lie that was told is coming back to sit on your lap and absolutely escort you back into hell. This is what I hear the conscious people saying as they awaken and call back their power. And I agree with them. I resonate with this energy. I agree with this judgment. So say I, so say all the conscious people over this planet. The devil is taking his people to hell. Six of Cups in the reverse and the Tower in the reverse. So whatever you thought you was about to do, it's already done unto you. It's all in the reverse. These people are thinking backwards, walking backwards, seeing backwards. Everything they got is backwards. Look at all the backwards. Judgment in backwards. Four of Pentacles backwards. Emperor backwards. Two of Pentacles backwards. Everything is backwards. walking in backwards into your own hell-bent consciousness. It is a hell that you consciously created over and over and over, and nobody's there but you. Whores of Babylon. Toil and labor. Working hard to do what? To get this? How you gonna get this? And this is where you at. How you gonna get that? And you over here in the line for the slice of the devil's pie. How is it that you plan on getting a victory, toil and labor, and you in judgment in the reverse? Everything that you're doing is in the reverse. Everything that you saying is backwards, ass backwards. Some of y'all got y'all asses on y'all face. Whores of Babylon. And you wanted people to be held captive. Domination spells. What the hell is this? Trying to manifest off of people's bodies and physical vessels and their bloodline and what. Child, if you don't sit your punk ass down. This does conclude this reading. Okay. I'm about to go make me a vegan burrito. I slow cooked some black beans, y'all, okay, with a little bit of garlic. Not too much, just a little bit of garlic, a little bit of sauteed onion, a little bit of bell pepper, you know what I mean? Slow cooked it in my slow cooker, okay? I'm gonna put that inside of a burrito. I take my burritos and I put them right on the fire, you know what I mean? My shells. This is how I flip the shell. This is how these people gonna be flipping around when they try to do this spell work over the divine collective. So say I, so say we. We don't want a slice of the devil's pie. Stay woke. Don't go back to sleep. And even if you go back to sleep, you still gonna see. When you go to sleep at night by way of your physical vessel, you still gonna be able to see. This is why these people wanted to infiltrate your consciousness. This is why they wanted to infiltrate your dreams. It's like turning somebody's mind on themselves. But what happens when you're not afraid of the dark? Everybody want to go into the light, but the light is hot. It's fire. Don't go into the fire, the lake of fire, into the light. If we go to the sun, we gonna burn up. But instead, go within and be enlightened, awakened to the elements that you possess within you. You are the master alchemist. This is what you come to do. Even if nobody knows that, just as I sit here in this conscious moment, my energy has gone throughout the ethers and it is attaching to other conscious people who are high vibrational, who are on the same high vibrational agenda, who want to see people free. So collectively, we collaborate and we create a ripple effect, an impenetrable conscious behavior that cannot be siphoned and that cannot be casted into hell. Hell-bent consciousness cannot attach itself to you, your children, or nothing else. That is something that we've manifested consciously. And it is. And it is so. We don't have to mold it to be anymore. It is already done. It's finished. So now what? One has to seek and or decide what else we want to create. 222 on the clock. Creating new consciousness is really fun. Doing something you've never done. That you ain't got to look over your shoulder about. That somebody somewhere creates some shit that they watching over their shoulder and paranoid and looking around because they ain't all the way right. Guilt, shame, a fall from grace. Too busy looking into your picture. If they look close enough into your eyes, they're going to see a reflection of themselves, and that's scary. The eyes are not just the windows to the soul, but they're a mirror. I love y'all. Take this as it resonates. Leave what does not. The horse of Babylon is under severe judgment, and the full moon rituals child is about to thrust them all into their own diabolical mess. And that's just what it is. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Until then, peace be with you.